Welcome passengers, Mega Sim. As you can see from this t-shirt, Train Sim World 4 has been announced. We have a date, 26th of September, when it will come to console and PC. That's PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, PC on Steam and Epic Games. This video is just having a look, a bit of a recap of what we learned on Dovetail Direct, which was that live stream that we saw. A bit of it was pre-recorded, as you probably noticed, but we're going to be looking at a few details that were from that and just getting into what we found when, as ambassadors, we were invited to Dovetail HQ last week. So yeah, let's get into it. I've got a few notes on my iPad here, so I'm going to be looking at them as we look at this new game that is coming out. So yeah, just over a month away. First of all, we have got the Austrian route. So a bit of Austria, a bit of Germany, and that's the Vorarlberg, the Lindau to Blundes. So 44 miles, 70 kilometers. We've got 28 train stations. We've got the OBB. So first with the OBB livery. So that license is in there, and it's the 4024 EMU. We may recognize it because it is the Talent 1. We've had Talent 2. Please don't press that horn. But the Talent 1 is now in the game, or about to be in the game. So it is Austrian. So we've got mountainous backdrop, and there are so many features that we found out last week of the way that the drawing is done and the technology behind it and the gaming behind it to just give us that perfect look at the overhead cables, the overhead catenary, the mountains, the snowfall, the fog. All of that stuff is just epic. We've also got the Antelope Valley. So this is the American route that we've got in California, Los Angeles to Lancaster. We've got the Metrolink. So Metrolink is a new brand for Train Sim World that we're going to be getting as well. 75 miles, 120 kilometers, 13 train stations, which doesn't seem much. But again, it's a mountainous region, so it's like a mix between Cajon Pass and, I can't remember what they said. What did they say? It was similar to that, but you've got freight, you've got passenger, and I do think that's going to be a really good route. I think the route could take up to an hour, hour and a half. So that's going to be exciting to have a go on that. Also, we got the Vista Canyon Station. This was something that they mentioned last week. So Vista Canyon is a train station that hasn't opened yet. It doesn't exist yet. They're building it. But really, what's really good about Dovetail is they got the details of it, they got the model, and they put it in the game. So what we've potentially got, well, we've effectively got, is a game where it's got a train station before it's come out. So it's coming out later this year, early next year, but by the time that comes out, then the game's old because it's out of date. So it's really nice that they've been able to put Vista Canyon in the game as well. As we all know, East Coast Mainline is the British route with the Azuma, the Class 801. We're going from Peterborough to Doncaster, so Peterborough to Donny. We've got Retford, we've got Newark Northgate, we've got Newark Castle, we've got what else have we got? Grantham. We've got the Crossway at Lincoln, you know, that Newark bit there. Now, I had a good go on this, and you know, I'll talk about that in a little bit more detail in a bit, but yeah, I had a good go on the Azuma. They've already said in the stream that it is overhead electric. It is the Auto 1, it's not the 800. So first of all, I was a little disappointed because the 800 is the one that has the proper bi-mode. It's overhead and it's diesel engines. But when they went to Hitachi, they went to LNER, they asked for the 800 and they kind of got what they got. And unfortunately, it was an 801 at the time. And they can't really half model it. So modeling an 800 with an 801, you know, with all the diesel ducts and all of this, all of that side of things, it just wasn't right. So that's why we've got the 801. So just a reminder for all of you guys out there, the 801 is fully electric with, they do have diesel engines, but it's for emergency use only at 5 miles an hour. So it's not amazing, but funnily enough, most of my content, most of my videos that I've got of the Azuma are 801s. So I'm quite happy with that. We've got the 9-car set. You've probably seen in the videos, we've got the 5-car set, which can be doubled up as well. Really good route. I did have a go on the LNER Azuma, as I said. You saw it in the stream with the videos. The wheels aren't turning yet, and from what I got was the sounds weren't ready. So they did mention that they've taken real life recordings, they've taken Armstrong Powerhouse, they've mixed that together to give us an accurate LNER Azuma sound, or an 800, 801 sound, so we can use livery editor to be able to, livery designer, sorry. Livery designer or livery editor? I can never remember. Yes, livery designer, because it's scenario planner. With livery designer, we've got the TPE, we've got the Nova 1, we've got the Hull Paragon, we've got the GWR IETs. We've got all of those that we can recreate. Now, I think the sounds that we were given last week were from the 395, so I was kind of testing the horn and going, that horn doesn't sound right. But listening to the horn in the stream, that is more accurate. So we've got the East Coast Mainline, as I said. Wide variety of timetable stopping patterns. If you look on real-time trains, there are some trains that just go straight through to York. There are ones that go Peterborough and sometimes Grantham, sometimes Newark, sometimes, so it's a mixture of them. Annoyingly, there's no toilets, but it's still a really good train, especially as I went on this, not last week, the week before. So I will be saying this, that Train Real World, this coming week, we have got the LNER trip that we took a couple of weeks ago. So have a look out for that. Then looking at the deluxe side of things, so there are going to be some deluxe models. We've got the Vectron, the Railpool BR193. So that looks pretty decent with the Anos freight wagon. It's going to be part of the Naverca Dresden upgrade. So there's going to be the Naverca Dresden upgrade to Train Simwell 4 standards. So volumetric skies, lighting and things like that. And that's where this Vectron is going to be coming at. What a name. What train do you drive? The Vectron. Yeah, that's a really good one. And also for the UK centenary 100-year anniversary this year, the Flying Scotsman is coming. Now, personally, I would have preferred the Mallard because, Peterborough to Donny, the Mallard did do its speed record. So I would have liked that, but no, we've got the Flying Scotsman. It was built in Doncaster, built 100 years ago. There's been a lot of changes to the Flying Scotsman, so we do have the current iteration of the Flying Scotsman. So they've worked with National Railway Museum, NRM, and a lot of other people for recordings, for sound. So that is going to be really good. Again, when I did go on Flying Scotsman last week, I'm really sorry, I did ask for some footage, but I wasn't able to provide the footage that I looked at. But I believe the horn, the whistle that we had last week, as to kind of put it on there, was from the Jubilee. So the whistle on the Flying Scotsman is quite high pitched, whereas when I played it last week, it was low pitched and it was just like the LMS Jubilee. So it was that whistle. But from what I saw so far, it was amazing to see. Still a lot of work to go. I think I was not in a beta, but more like an alpha beta, so quite far behind. But that was on PlayStation, that was on Xbox, so I'm guessing that they've come a lot further since then, or even what they put on the dev consoles for us. But it was really good to have a go. Just thinking of this, hopefully I'm not going to be told off. I don't care. Talent 1, I went on that. There was no sound whatsoever. But again, it allowed us to have a taste of the routes and of Train Simwell 4, but we still got over a month to go. So there is still that extra bit that we still need to see, and the work is being carried out. And yeah, the stuff that they're doing is pretty amazing. So just looking at some other things that they've got going on, just looking at Scenario Planner 2.0. So it has been reworked. It's a lot easier to use. There are custom start times. There are chaining paths. So that's Train Simwell 4 routes only. Portal support for AI trains, weather selection. So if you remember for Train Simwell 3 and before, you would have to create a timetable service of the weather you liked, quit it, then go into Scenario Planner, and that was the weather that you got. Whereas now you're able to choose the weather to do with that scenario. and also introductory text to a scenario. So if you want, you get this in Train Simulator Classic where it comes up with a thing and it goes, oh, this is what you're going to be doing today. I think that is a really good feature to have, especially with Creators Club, so you get a real good description of this is what you're going to be doing today. You could put times, you could put anything in there. Just going on with the other one, you've got the Livery Designer 2.0, reworked, easier, livery description, undo, redo, 1,000 layers. Now that was something that Jason was really happy about, because we were limited to 350 on Tracy World 3 and before. Now we've got 1,000 layers, so that's going to be really good. And text entry. Think of when you were trying to put GWR or Southeastern or something, and you're kind of like moving them all about. You know, that was annoying. Now you just type it in, and there's a couple of fonts that we're able to use with that. And hopefully more to come as well. And more operators and fonts. Now, we did ask, we didn't get that at the time, so I don't know what the additional operators and fonts are for that. Creators Club improvements, again, easier to use UI, user interface, so you can filter based on what content you've got. This was the annoying thing that I had a lot of comments about, is when somebody creates a scenario on Creators Club, but they stick in a train from West Cornwall local, or they stick a train from Naverka Dresden, and you don't have that. So you go, oh yeah, this is amazing, and then go, nope, you can't use it because you don't have that route. What you can do now is you can filter to routes that you own or DLC that you own, so it only will come up with content and scenarios that you own yourself, and again with delivery as well. And improve search functionality. Just the stuff that we saw was pretty amazing. So the scoring and medals, they've been updated. There's now going to be more advanced players, sort of driving well, safety systems enabled. There's platinum. So we got bronze, silver, gold, but if you have your safety systems on and you stop accurate, etc., you now have your platinum medal. So that's something for you to go back on and look at previous results and try and improve on that. And the points are enabled for safety systems, correct configuration. Did you turn your lights on? Did you know, that sort of thing, stopping accuracy, being on time. And you do get negative points. I don't believe you get 0. You can't go below that, but there are negative points in there. I know that Jason did one of them, and he sped or something like that, and he got a negative points thing in there. So quite good to see that. There is so much to look at in this. So we've done scenario planner. We're not doing that yet. I'm sorry, this is off the fly in this. What I've said already, the overhead line rendering. If you look on Train Sim World 3 and you look at the overhead lines, they're kind of twinkling and glistening. Because when it goes into the distance, it goes to 1 pixel, and then the pixel moves, so it's twinkling at you. What they've done is they've made those lines thicker as they get further away. So those cables, the catenary, is thick and decent the whole way looking into the distance. The suspension improvements, that is a really cool thing. At the moment, that's on 1 train. But even just the stuff that we saw, that I didn't see that on the stream because I was kind of doing a lot of other stuff as well. But the suspension stuff is going to be amazing, and haptics controllers. Again, didn't see that on the preview, but we've been told all about this haptics coming soon. I am looking forward to that, and with the haptics, I really want to kind of get all 3: PC, Xbox, and PlayStation 5. I want to try and big up my roots and get all 3, so I get to try it on all 3. And that might even be like an additional camera looking down at a controller, you know, and all that stuff. Especially the haptics of going over points and things, that is what I'm looking forward to, because having a controller that's doing nothing, it's just, yeah. So I like having that, you know, when it goes over points. And as it says on here, light bar and controller audio. The PlayStation 5 has the light at the bottom of the bar. Now, you could use that on PlayStation, on FIFA, and you'd have the red team, blue team, yellow team, etc. But this gives you a lot more with the DualSense controller, and also controller audio. If a sensor or a safety system comes through, it will come through the controller. How amazing is that? That is really good. And Volumetric Fog. I tried Volumetric Fog. So I did Flying Scotsman from Donny, 6:30 in the evening in October, put the volumetric fog on, and it looked amazing. It really did. I know I'm saying amazing a lot, because the next one I want to look at is, where is it? Not that one, not free, photo mode. I'm trying to go by the slideshow that they sent, because I want to make sure that I say the right things. I don't want to kind of blab on and say things, whatever. Photo mode, pause the game, go to settings, adjustable camera settings, filters, enhance it, tilt it. I did such a good photo of the Flying Scotsman in the fog coming out of Donny with an LNER zoomer coming in. And the filter that I had on there and the focus on there, it was amazing. Now, what could have made it that much better was the Azuma lights weren't working when I did it. So it didn't come out as because in the fog with the red lights would have looked amazing. Now the lights on the Flying Scotsman worked, but the lights on the Azuma didn't. So when it came in, it was a bit dark. But if I could do that photo, I would just use that as my desktop. It was a perfect photo. And that fog, the volumetric fog that just came through, just looked, yeah, it just looked amazing. It really did. I have no other words for it. Now, there are other things that are coming up on here that we've got. Ease of access improvements. So, you know, we've got simpler HUDs. Simpler HUDs might mean, you know, being a little bit more difficult. At the moment, we're looking at 4,000 yards to go, 4 miles to go, and we just get to the end. And we're not really paying attention. I don't sometimes. I'm on my phone, and then I go, I forgot we're at a station, an emergency brake. But this way, you're going to be looking at it all the time. It's not going to tell you how many miles to go, but it will give you some actions to kind of go, you know, when you're getting close, a little icon will appear, but you've got to know the route a lot more, and you've got to know that train a lot more. So it's a really good thing with the improvements. And we do have the Class 323 and the ATF coming to training centre. Please spell it right, but unfortunately it's the Americanized version. But there will be the 323 and the ATF coming, which will be available to everyone. So that ATF and 323, I believe, can be used on other routes. So if you haven't got the ATF, you haven't got the 323, you will through Scenario Planner, I believe. That was the question we asked. Hopefully I've got that right. Also, automatic coupling, yard routing. That's another one where when you want to go through a yard and it's all manual and you've got to get out, or you go to press, what do we press? We press the left button, don't we? The not the menu one, the start button, but the other one on the controller, or 9 on the keyboard. And yeah, you're able to like set the points. Well, this can be automatic. When you stop at a point, it says, can you uncouple? Instead of having to get out or doing the 8 camera and going round, you just press A or X, or, you know, and it does it for you. So that is a really cool feature for certain people that just, well, even like me, I can't be bothered to go out and walk. Now, I'm probably missed lots of stuff, but, you know, there's so much that we're looking at. The one big thing was the bundle, okay? So choose your bundle. You've got the deluxe edition, you've got the special edition, you've got the standard edition, you've got the German, the Austrian, the UK regional, the US regional. There are so many different bundles on here. But don't forget, if you've got Train Sim World 3 and you've got other things, you can start bundling up your discount. So I believe you can get up to 20% off on console and 25% off Steam. So I think that is a really good discount. Now, I know when I spoke on yesterday's video, I said, unfortunately, you know, it might be free. It's not. It's chargeable. But there's a lot of work that has gone into this route. Now, I'm not going to mention the pricing because I forgot to put it on my iPad and I don't want to get that wrong. So go and check that out. There will be a full list of the pricing and things like that on there. Now, where was that last slide before I look at the... there it is. PC editor. We had a quick look at the PC editor. That's something that came out 2018, 2019 that was going to come out and it didn't. PC editor is going to be amazing. Create your own gameplay, create your own timetables. I want somebody to go out there and create Great Western Express and create an IET timetable. So we can create our own, not limited to scenario planner, but a full timetable to the dot. And there's a lot of work in there. Now, it is PC only at the moment. So you PC guys will create it. There'll be a mod file that you can then put into your Steam account and play it. So it's not coming to console, but that could be soon. It's something that's going to be quite difficult to start with, but I think we are going to be getting console soon, but not yet. I'm not saying it's down the road. They've not said to me, oh, it's coming in 6 months. That's not what I'm saying. But I think it's just Creators Club 10.0. It's going to be full-on editor. You can create your own routes. There's going to be a lot to do with PC editor. But remember, it is PC only. It's the same tools that the teams use, just slightly simplified or certain things taken off. But I am really looking forward to seeing what the PC editor does for people. Because there's a lot of mods out there where people have worked on it and made some really good updates on games, on routes. But I think this will just take it to another level. Now, finally, just looking at the roadmap, we also had that announcement, didn't we? Just Trains, Ormskirk to Preston and Blackpool. Just Trains route with the Pacer. That is coming in the next 1 to 3 months. That was extended. So it was Blackpool to Preston, but they've extended it to Blackpool South and North and further. So I'm really happy with that, with Just Trains for creating that. There's a new Swiss route, Rivet Games, coming soon. There's gameplay packs that Rivet Games are bringing out. There are 2 new UK routes that Rivet are coming out in the next 4 to 6 months. There's 6 months plus. Plus, we got the other third-party developers that are working on things as well. But yeah, we've got winter core updates. We've got US, UK, German, Austrian route. It's this roadmap that we're going to get, where it's going to go full in. I think it's over 2 days. It's going to be so intense. Train Sim World 4 is just kind of jumped another level. Train Sim World 3 was all about the prettiness and making it look good. But Train Sim World 4 has just brought so much more to the table. Yes, they're charging for it, but I think that is worth the charge because there are so many new features, there's so many new things that have come, and it's only going to get better. There are so many more things coming soon that's going to be on the roadmap or not on the roadmap yet. If it's not on the roadmap, it doesn't exist. But there are things that are hidden on the roadmap that will be coming, and just certain stuff that's coming. Oh my goodness, you are going to love it. So as I said, Train Real World, we're on LNER Azuma this weekend, so check that out. We are also on Transparent Express Nova 1. Now everything was going so well until, as you can see, my mic stopped working. So I start talking about the Nova 1 that I went on, the Transparent Express. That was really good as well. And just talking a little bit about the trip that we had down to Dovetail, being able to meet Matt Peddleston, being able to see the pink headphones. Oh, look at that lovely t-shirt on the back. I can't remember what I did because this is like 2 minutes of things going on, but we met the guys down there. We met Dad Rail, British Ace, Tintin. There's a couple of photos that I'm going to be putting in here as well, so you can see what we did. We were also on the PlayStation. Me and Joe were on the PlayStation trying out the LNER Azuma. And listening, there you go, there's me talking about the pink headphones there. But no, thank you Dovetail for giving us this invite to the special event that we had last week, for ambassadors and people that help with the Facebook groups and the mods and, you know, all of the social media side of things. It was really good to do it, and, you know, we've all worked hard to get to this stage, to get this invite. But as I've said before, even though I am an ambassador, I am very vocal on things that I like and what I don't like. I may not look too much into it and go, oh, that's totally wrong, that doesn't sound right, because I may not know that information. But if I think it is good, I will let you know. If I don't like it, I won't. Like Midland Mainline, why are there steps in Long Eaton? I don't know. But yeah, I had a great time, and I think Train Sim World 4 is just going up and it's advancing, and Dovetail are going really well with that. And I think we're going places with Train Sim World, and I'm really looking forward to things to come on the roadmap. But yeah, I will see you on the next video. Have a great day, everyone. Don't forget to subscribe to Megasim and Train Real World. Look out for those upcoming videos, and I will see you on the next video. This is Megasim out of here. See you soon, guys. Bye.